Fantasy Rap
with Austin and Ozzy.
Oh, I just love those boys.
Hey everyone, this is Fantasy Rap, and I'm your host Ozzy.
And I'm your co-host Austin.
You can find us on fantasyrap.com. That is fantasywrap.com. Hey everybody, welcome to the follow-up to week 7. Mm-hmm. We'll start out with how we did. I went 1-2, which I always take that with a grain of salt. Mm-hmm. I got crushed in the Yahoo league that you and I are in, because he had 3 players that all 3 of them scored 35 to 40 points. I had no chance. Yep. And my guys just didn't perform, including Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, obviously, because Caleb Williams didn't. Now, hopefully, I get my quarterback back. I've got Lamar.
Oh, yeah.
He's been out for...
All signs have been pointing that he'll be back this week.
Well, I don't really want to play Caleb anymore, so... then in our...
almost be better off playing Joe Flacco this week against the Jets.
Oh, I would. If I need to, I'll pick up Flacco and play him. In our dynasty, I don't want to win.
Yeah.
I hold the 1, 2, 3, and 4 picks in the first round, and then I don't remember. I think, do I have 5 or 6 in the first round?
I don't remember.
It's a stupid number.
Yeah.
So I played Honcho, and Honcho whooped me by 100.
Yeah, put up
and
240, which if you hit 200 in that league, that's good.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
And he put 240.
Yeah. Again, I mean, he had everyone hit, and then in my 33-year league or whatever it is, I went in to last night's Detroit game up by about 8 points, I think, and he had Montgomery and I had Jahmyr Gibbs. Yep. And Jahmyr Gibbs not only gave me the win by a lot, it gave me the high score of the week, which $25.
Nice.
Left me at 7-0. Next closest is, I think I'm not sure if there's even a team that's 5-2.
So a lot of 4-3, or a couple 4-3s, and
And in my conference, the next best I believe is 4-3. So it goes 4-3 in our division, 2 4-3s, and a couple of 4-3s in the others, or 1 4-3 in the others. Yep. So I'm getting close to
clinching
a playoff spot.
Yeah.
So after 7 whole weeks. So I mean, I'm the top scoring team. And that's with Kittle throwing up a goose egg this week and not having had him for the last 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. So, it is what it is. This will be a tough week because I lose my 2 starting running backs.
Same, yeah, this week. Well, this is like their, week 8s lately. It's always been the bye-mageddon, where basically... it feels like half the league is on buys, and then there's been all the injuries too, and so you're
I think this is one of the worst years that I recall. That for players that have gotten so badly injured that they're out for the season, offensive, skill players.
Yeah.
Obviously, you go through it with linemen and defensive players and blah blah blah. But the number of players who have, now, Mike Evans goes and breaks his collarbone. And not that it was a big deal, but Kendry Miller tears his ACL out for the season.
So that one, I actually feel kind of bad because in the, I went 2-2. So I lost, split in the Dynasty leagues and then split in the Yahoo league. So I lost in the Yahoo league that we're in together. I almost put up 100 more on Jesse this week, who didn't check his lineup, so he had Puka still in his lineup and everything. And he started out Thursday night with 35 or whatever out of Jamar Chase, and then I also had Devonta Smith and Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen had a nice game.
If I had played Bo Nix over Daniel Jones, I would have put up like 190 points, but at that point, it really didn't matter,
Those are stupid numbers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, going into halftime, Bo Nix had 3 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, they scored 33 points in the fourth quarter.
So,
and he had 2 passing and 2 rushing.
Yeah. So I ended up trading Bo Nix. I think that was
Value
yesterday.
probably was never higher.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even then, I probably could have got a little more, but like I said, I've got Jones and Bo Nix, or had Bo Nix. So I was tired of playing the who's it going to be, this week. And I think consistency wise, it's going to be Jones, because they just have all the weapons, and obviously you get Jonathan Taylor behind you that keeps the pressure off of you as a quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
So I think just consistency wise.
And tell me what Denver's wide receiving core looks like.
Yeah, I mean
Cortland Sutton didn't do much this week, I don't think.
On any given week can be the wide receiver 1.
But
he just
But then you've got Troy Franklin. Yeah. You've got Marvin Mims,
Pat Bryant, who's a rookie.
I mean, and some of those guys are really good players.
Yeah.
But they're good. They're going to be. They're young. I mean, Mims is in his 3rd year. Franklin's in his second year. Yeah. I mean, they might be good at some point. Mm-hmm. But right now, it's not like what Daniel Jones has. And Daniel Jones is putting together an MVP season.
Yeah. So, but yeah, with the Kendra Miller, like we said, he ACL, so he's done. I actually last week had traded Kendra Miller, and it'll end up being probably a later first round pick in the Dynasty League with Nick, and I got Breece Hall in return.
Oh.
So I feel bad for the guy who I traded with, because it's just
let's see, Breece Hall gets traded possibly to a decent team.
Yeah.
I mean, he's stuck on a crappy team. A crappy team. So and it's like I said, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was stuck on a crappy team. Mm-hmm. No offensive line, poor play calling, no weapons. Mm-hmm. And you're seeing, I mean, he's playing himself into a $45 to $55 million per year contract. Yeah, and they were saying how $40 million a year was horrible money spent on him.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
If he finishes the year out the way he's doing, and they make a deep run into playoffs, their defense needs a little bit of work, because it's not as good as it should be for a true Super Bowl caliber team. Right. But if they can figure some stuff out on the defense, to me, the Colts have a good shot this season if Daniel Jones can continue to play the way he has. But again, I think a lot of that is due to the fact that they have probably a top 5 O-line. Mm-hmm. You've got
Jonathan Taylor.
You got Jonathan Taylor. You got Pittman. You got Pierce. Who's a very good deep threat guy. You got Tyler Warren. Yep. You got Josh Downs, because I think he's concussed or something. Yeah, something. So, you have all these pieces and a good foundation around him, and a good coaching staff that allows him to play the way that he's playing.
Right.
But yeah, so like I said, I traded Bo Nix and actually got Tyler Warren back. So now I have, you love stacks. So I've got the Daniel Jones, Tyler Warren stack. So
yeah, well, and it was funny because I told you that I wasn't going to go with Herbert this week, and Herbert has a great week. Mm-hmm. So. But I do want to mention that both my tight end with 2 touchdowns against the Packers and my wide receiver with 2 touchdowns against who did they play? Devontae.
Oh, Devonta?
Yeah.
Or Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams.
That was the Jaguars.
Yeah.
So that was frustrating. I mean, I've got, like I said, in Dynasty League with Nick, I've got Matt Stafford, Puka, and Devontae.
Got the wrong screen up. Give me a second. People really want to know what we...
Nick and Ren wedding.
Sorry about that. So, let's move on to our injuries. We've got Bryce Young, week-to-week ankle.
Yeah, it sounds like... they're basically expecting Andy Dalton to start next week. Yeah. I mean, it was good for...
Are they on a bye?
No, I don't think so. Not next week. Because
this week, you mean?
Or yeah, this week. Because actually, in our Yahoo League, because of the buys, I am starting both Chuba and Rico Dowdle. So,
Interesting. I mean,
yeah,
it's better than some of the choices.
that's true. Like in my other Yahoo league with that Brit's in, my starting running backs this week are Isaiah Pacheco and Tajay Spears.
Yeah. And Tajay Spears did he get
Titans.
Yeah,
No, he's I think he's fine.
he just didn't have a good game.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I'm starting
had a okay game, but yeah.
I'm starting Chuba Hubbard and Justice Hill.
Nice.
And you know who I'm going against? JT. This may be the week that I'm falling back to earth, and my 7-0 will be blemished. Yeah. But let's, who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
So Bryce Young, I mean, he's been playing better. Mm-hmm. And I think I put one of his wide receivers.
Yeah, Leggett. Yeah. But Leggett, I think most of his stuff came with Andy Dalton.
I think I was watching early on, and he was getting some.
Yeah, but I think the big chunk most of it did come with Andy Dalton. So
next up, Cole Kmet day to day with a back injury. We haven't heard that much out of either of their tight ends. Yeah. So I don't think that
was our main concern going into the season, was just how many, all of the mouths to feed, is the term we use.
And it's not like, Caleb Williams has a big arm. Mm-hmm. Justin Fields did not have a big arm. So Justin Fields was perfect for a tight end. Yeah. Get up near the line, drop it off. We talked about it several times, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
About how good he was at, that linebacker has to make a choice.
Yeah, that was like Cole Kmet every 2 weeks would go for 2 touchdowns and 80 yards, and the next week it'd be 1 point.
Right.
Right. So it was just, hopefully you hit on the right week. But yeah.
Next up, Dontavian Wicks, day to day with a calf injury. I didn't really. I guess I did notice him go out of the game. But.
Yeah. We watched the beginning of the game, and then we had dinner plans, so we were.
Probably
to
better.
Dinner. So
probably better off that
at
way.
the end there, I was checking, had the ESPN the game cast and watching the end there. But we're hopefully. I think this is the last week they have to either fully upgrade Christian Watson, or he'll be done for the year.
Right.
But he's been, because I picked him up in the one Yahoo league and just stashed him in my IR as a just in case, maybe kind of thing. And he's been practicing for the last week and a half. So, not with the team yet, but,
let's hope that
they said that he looks really good. So.
Let's hope that when he comes back, he doesn't revert back to the hamstring issues. Yeah. Hopefully he was working them evenly.
Yeah. I went to go see, was that Kamara? Alvin Kamara went and saw some guy. Was that Kamara?
I don't know, but Watson and I want to say another Packer went and saw the guy at the University of Wisconsin.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought I remember
2 years ago.
Yeah,
and they were telling him that the one hamstring was much stronger than the other one. By 22% or something, and they got him to where it was 6 or 7%. Mm-hmm. Therefore, he didn't have any pulled hamstrings after that. Darren Waller, Peck. I'm saying week to week. That's kind of what I read on it.
Yeah, I didn't. I just saw that he had a pec injury, but I don't know anything further. Obviously that was after a hot 2 week start there.
Yeah, and then I dropped him. I dropped him before this past week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to have as good of a game as the guy I picked up, and
got lucky on that one.
Well, no, because I got smushed in the game. Next up, Kendry Miller out for the season with an torn ACL.
Yeah, like I said, that one sucks. Like I said, I had traded him away, so I was able to capitalize because he was starting to get more involved, and obviously the trade rumors with Kamara were getting really hot. And then now with this,
can they afford? Yeah. You can afford to trade him because you aren't going to the playoffs anyways. Yeah. It's like when the Packers haven't gone, and I sit there and I go, just lose. Mm-hmm. You get a better draft pick. You're not making the lose. Yep. But some of those teams, they're out there and they try and win. Didn't Carolina do that last year, or who won on the last Wasn't it Carolina?
I think it was Carolina because that was after they had benched Bryce for a couple of weeks and they came back and then finished the season really well. So that must have been
they
Carolina.
needed to lose that last game and they won it and it messed up.
So, well, like I said, the Kendra Miller thing, like I said, for fantasy, that sucks because he was getting more involved and looking like,
he
with
was,
the trade talks like we talked about.
Yeah, he was the heir apparent.
Yeah, I mean, and he had been there, I think this is his third year.
Third or fourth,
Yeah, third year, because I had, in that league that I traded him, I think I drafted him or picked him up in our dynasty as well. And I started him in that league, in our dynasty. I had to throw him in my one of my flex spots because I had nothing else, and he got 0.7 and then got hurt. So, I mean, I'll just throw him on IR and just hold him, because I've got plenty of space. But, that's, like I said, that's, something you were kind of hoping for. It's kind of sucks, because the talent's there with him. You had the weird thing with him and Dennis Allen, the coach last year, where Kendra Miller, yes, he was getting banged up all the time, but Dennis Allen just hated the dude for no apparent reason.
Yeah. Well, there are coaches like that.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Jaden Daniels week to week with a hamstring left in the third quarter.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Yeah. I was glad because, I'm not glad that he's hurt, but the team I was playing against in my 33-year league, he had Jaden Daniels, and I'm sitting there going, well, I had Patrick Mahomes, and he had Jaden Daniels, and I had already had all those points put up, and I'm like, no, we just got to keep that down. And then all of a sudden he stopped having points, and I looked and I saw that he was injured, and I was kind of surprised. Not sure, hamstrings, especially on a quarterback, who knows how long.
And he missed what, two weeks? A couple of weeks ago. So, if he misses again, it's back to Mariota, who wasn't terrible. No. Mariota actually, I think that first week he started he was the quarterback 3 on the week for fantasy.
Is McLaurin back?
He wasn't this week.
Okay.
But so I don't know if he's
think
any
he was getting
closer
close.
this week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
next up, Mike Evans out for several weeks. My guess is
I think I saw that he's either throwing him on the 8-week IR or whatever, and he's done.
So I mean, he could come back if they make the playoffs.
That's true.
I mean, they're 5-2.
Yeah, if they get that's the thing is they have this week, and I think next week is their bye. So week 9, I believe, is their bye.
Okay.
So, with Bucky, he's been out. This is his 3rd week now. It's, do you bring him back this week? I mean, Rashad White's been doing just fine. They had a down game, last night, obviously.
Turned into a passing game.
Yeah, so, Rashad White's been doing fine, so I don't think they're in any rush to bring Bucky back until after the bye.
Yeah. So next up, we've got Nico Collins, concussion. I don't know. I mean, he was being evaluated for a concussion, didn't come back in the game, so I'm guessing that it was probably a concussion, but it didn't say for sure that he was in the protocol. Gotcha. So at this point, I don't know if he's in the protocol or not. Could be a big loss for that team. I mean, they're just
been kind of up and down too. Nico, that was coming into this year. He was, everybody's kind of top 4 really, wide receivers, and they're if you can get one of the top running backs and you come around in the 2nd round or end of the 1st or whatever, you get Nico Collins, if you're at the turn at the end of the 1st round, and you get a running back in Nico Collins, you'll be set because Nico could be the number 1 receiver this year, and obviously
sure he could, but
that ended up being Puka until he got hurt. So
yeah. Moving on to our studs, we've got Jahmyr Gibbs plus 23.3, 17 rushes, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 catches on 3 targets for another 82 yards. I mean, 218 yards, 2 touchdowns, 79-yard touchdown run, which in most leagues gets you at least a couple extra points.
Yeah, who knew if you gave Jahmyr Gibbs the majority of work that he would break big runs and be really good for your team in general.
Did you see the touchdown?
The long one?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I saw the replay of it today, but I thought he was going to get caught, and then it's like he found a
he was
found
playing
the
with
6th
him.
gear.
He got past him. He's like, you aren't catching me.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
I was waiting for him to do like the Tyreek, like just take the fine and throw up the peace sign.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to judge whether or not he should
Like
really
give it or slow up and try and
yeah. Because I mean, he had him beat, and he knew he had him beat, and he's like cat and mouse.
Yeah.
Come on, try. Next up, a guy I thought about picking up this past week. So I had the choice between Pitts. Did I go? Yeah, Pitts and Freiermuth.
Yeah, obviously Freiermuth had the huge week. Pitts was decent this week.
Pitts was very decent. He was better than my Kittle that I played.
Yeah.
So Freiermuth plus 22.3, 5 catches on 6 targets, 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. And you know what? He's probably going to have another big week.
Yeah.
Well, they play against
Green Bay.
the Packers.
Yeah, but there's 3 tight. There's essentially 3 starting tight ends for the Steelers.
Yeah.
I mean, Jonnu Smith had a touch. Well, it was the tight ends that had all of Rodgers' touchdowns last week. You had Jonnu with one, and you had is it Washington? That really
Darnell
big
Washington.
guy. That guy that's like 6'8", 285,
745
something like
pounds.
that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's an Arthur Smith offense.
Yeah, true.
And who loves Jonnu Smith? For whatever reason. So, it's hard to, I would stay away, but I mean, again, matchup based. If you're
Good
in
matchup,
bye
but-
week,
right.
you're in bye week hell, like a lot of people, it's a dart throw that could,
Yeah.
because I think, Rodgers is going to be pumped up. I really wish this game was being played in Lambeau. That'd be great if it was in Lambeau. That would be so
Well,
awesome.
then he'd probably do the discount double check.
Yeah, but I wish they could, I know it doesn't work that way, but if they could just like how they flex games, times and stuff, just be like, you know what, just come to Lambeau. Ratings would be, I mean, it's going to be a highly viewed game regardless.
Well, it's Sunday night.
Well, that too. Oh, yeah. But, I mean, just imagine, though, if it was at Lambeau. Like, oh, God, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
It would be interesting.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Bo Nix plus 21.29. Like you said, he had a massive fourth quarter, 27 of 50, not overly accurate, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 rushes, 48 yards, and 2 more touchdowns.
2 tons. Yeah.
So that was a heck of a fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of been Bo's MO, like that.
It's better than it being his BO.
Yeah, that's true. BO's MO. Nix's, kind of his thing has been kind of the inverse of like Jalen Hurts was last year, where he would score all of his fantasy points in the first and halfway through the second quarter.
Yep.
And then in the end of the game, there's just nothing because they're up so big. Nix has been the inverse, where it's been, like I said, we were talking before, going into halftime, Bo Nix, because I still had him on my roster at that point, had 3 points.
Yep.
Like 3.8 fantasy points going into half. And then all of a sudden, like I said,
And he put up 40-something?
it was third in the Yahoo League. It was 39.96 or something like that. So
40 something.
Yeah. So essentially 40 points. Yes.
Yeah,
So
wow.
I mean, he's capable of having the spike weeks because he does have the rushing upside.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
obviously.
always been a big part of his. Well, had been last year. He hasn't run that much this year, and the play calling's been a little frustrating to watch in Denver because they come out and they're doing a lot of trying to dink and dunk. And then, they came out and won this game because Sean Payton finally was just like, you know what, we got to, if we're going to put up points, we got to do it now, and was letting him really sling it. And Nix has a big arm and he's accurate down the field. And we saw it last year with Cortland Sutton. You know, he didn't have a whole lot of yards, but he had all the touchdowns.
Yep.
And a lot of those touchdowns were from like 25, between 25 and 40-yard touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, maybe this is a switch, and because Sean Payton's is a smart guy, football smarts. Maybe finally goes, oh, okay.
And maybe it's not that smart.
It's like kind of like the Eagles. And our next guy here, Devonta Smith, the plus 19.89, 9 catches, 11 targets for 183 and 1. And that touchdown was a monster.
And A.J. Brown had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and one of his was a no.
No, I think
It was like a
one was a
30
1 yarder
yarder
and
or
one was
something
like a
like that.
33 yarder
Yeah.
or something.
So,
But it's interesting how Jalen Hurts, he can't throw the ball, he can't throw the ball, he can't throw the ball. All of a sudden he can throw the ball. I don't know.
and it was against Minnesota, who I think going into last week was the top rated passing defense. Or at least one of the top
Is that
three.
just because everyone ran on them and ran up the score?
Pretty much, yeah. But
Yeah,
they have a very good defensive backfield.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, numbers can be deceiving, especially in the first half of the season.
Yeah, you get the schedule adjusted and everything,
Right.
all that stuff. But I mean, it was really nice to see. I mean, the 11 targets is because Devonta Smith can put this line up with 4 catches.
Yeah.
He's that kind of receiver. So to have 4 catches on 5 targets. But to have actually have a game where Hurts was throwing the ball and willing to go downfield with it, and is actually accurate, was nice to see, because the Saquon has not done really anything this season and hasn't looked anywhere near as good as he did last year, obviously. But
they've always said, if you touch the ball X number of times, you are done the following year.
Yeah.
So
Which, like I said,
happened.
that's just because you've got, granted, obviously the season, you go to the Super Bowl and win. That's a long season. You take probably a month off after that, minimum, to just recoup and kind of, go on all your trips, do whatever, and then you start getting back into it. But by the time camp comes around, to me, it doesn't make any sense. But, these guys are top tier athletes.
Yeah,
and
I
you
agree.
come back and you're just fried, a year later.
I don't know. I don't.
So
I don't
hopefully,
quite get
too,
it.
this is a trend where we get back into where Hurts is, good through the air,
Yep.
because they realize, we've got one of the top, probably one of the top 3-4 wide receiver duos in the league.
Yeah.
Let's use them to win games.
Why?
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Next up, we have Rhonda Gadsden, who we talked about last week, I think, on our waiver
I
wire.
think so.
Plus 18.29, 7 catches on 9 targets, 164 yards and a tutty. I mean, Herbert likes him.
Yeah, he's been good for tight ends. I mean, there was a stretch, it was like a 3-4 game stretch where Will Disley last year was more than viable. He was double digit points for like 3-4 weeks in a row. He's always liked, having the tight end, and Keenan Allen, who probably wasn't too far off of the studs list. And even McConkey had a decent game. I think everybody, I don't know what Johnston's stat line was, but
I don't remember.
I think pretty much everybody for the Chargers had a good fantasy day, and obviously for real football, because that stat line out of a tight end is great.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But like Keenan Allen went crazy. McConkey had a really good game too. So, if you get the right matchup and you get a game where Herbert's actually performing well, the only thing with Gadsden, yes, he likes him, but he feel like he would be one of the first ones to disappear if it was a real negative game script, where they're trying to go down the field to Johnston and moving the sticks with McConkey and Keenan. So
We'll have to see. Next up, we've got our duds. Caleb Williams, minus 15.76, 15 of 26 for 172 yards and an interception, 4 rushes for negative 2 yards. Pardon my French, he shit the bed. He was just terrible.
Who did they play?
The Bears played New Orleans?
Was it New Orleans? I guess I
don't remember.
Yeah. I don't remember either.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does this too. He can be very up and down and inconsistent, and
they didn't need it.
Swift had a good game,
and
Monangai too.
Monangai had a touchdown, and so it is what it is. He'll probably turn it around, especially if they were up early and they didn't really need to do much of anything.
Yeah.
So Next up, Justin Fields, minus 15.65, 6 of 12 for 46 yards, 4 rushes, 22 yards, benched.
Got the bench.
Yeah. I don't, it's hard to put blame on a guy who has 2 weapons and one of them got hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Brees Hall can only do so much.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's like we said, Brees Hall is a prime trade candidate. Mm-hmm. And if he went to the right situation, you would see what people expected Brees Hall to be.
Well, was that what? It wasn't his year. Was it his rookie year that he was? He was
offensive rookie of the year,
okay.
And Sauce was defense.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh no! Garrett Wilson was offensive. I don't remember where Brees was because I think that was 1 year earlier.
Yeah, but yeah, I can't remember if it must. Maybe it was his second year that he was really good for fantasy because he was catching a lot of passes too.
Yeah,
he was good on both sides, but he was really good as a pass catcher. Yeah, I mean. We'll see if they roll out Tyrod to start this week. Yeah, as long as they're not on bye. I don't remember if the Jets are on bye. So many teams.
I don't recall.
Yeah.
I think they might be.
But Fields, if you started him for whatever reason, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But if he's, on your bench as just a stash, definitely I would free up a spot and go find somebody else.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Tua. Minus 11.64, 12 of 23 for 100 yards, 3 interceptions, 3 rushes, 6 yards. You can't have that.
He's bad because that was against the Browns too, right? I believe so. Was it Miami and Cleveland? Yeah. And Cleveland's a good defense, and it was in Cleveland, and that was a bad weather game. I don't think it was raining, but it was very windy.
Okay.
But 3 picks, only 100 yards. I mean, people are calling for him to get benched, for them to start Quinn Ewers, see what you got there.
Well, Quinn played a little bit.
Yeah, that's not surprising. I was talking with my coworker, I think it was yesterday, and we were talking about Tua and Kyler, and I was like, and Trevor Lawrence, I brought up Trevor Lawrence, who's been very up and down, which he's been his whole NFL career so far, hasn't lived up to the, he was supposed to be like the next, like Peyton Manning, essentially. Richards. Well, and I brought up too, I said, you look at a lot of these quarterbacks coming out now, like Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Drake May, multiple years of college. Multiple, as starters. And obviously Jaden Daniels he went to multiple schools.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm just saying, Jeez. I'm just saying that was a knock on Jaden Daniels coming out was that
I thought you were picking on me.
No. That was a knock on Daniels is that he, was bouncing around schools. But, you get these guys that have all of this college experience and they come into the league and they're more prepared.
Yeah.
Because they have that experience. And then you get an Anthony Richardson who, yes, athletic freak, cannon of an arm, but the dude can't read a defense.
Right.
It's... everybody's faster, so he's not able to run away from people like he could in college.
We talk about that a lot.
Yeah, so, I mean, Tua, we were talking, I said, imagine if, say, they wouldn't do it, but say Arizona and Jacksonville just swap quarterbacks. Said sometimes all you need is just a new place.
Yeah.
And I brought up Baker, Darnold.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Jones.
They showed it last night.
Is just
those
changing
3
teams.
Yeah, those 3 were top 5 picks.
Yeah.
And all of them were cast off because they weren't good enough, but they're all, I don't want to say they're all on. I mean, they are kind of all in the talk for MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all having great years, but not with the teams that picked them.
Yeah. So, I mean, it'll be interesting. It kind of sucks for my dynasties because I've got Kyler in both.
I told you I didn't like him.
Yeah. Well, I had, I drafted I was able to get Marv, and then, I was like, I thought that Kyler could still have a good season because he still has the rushing, but I think, and I just listening to another podcast, I think they made a good point. I think Kyler plays scared.
Yeah.
Because he had the knee injury like 2 years ago. They're Cardinals fans, that podcast. they're like, he just looks like he's afraid to take any sort of hit, and it's ruining him as a quarterback because, when he starts to scramble, they're like, he's looking down at the ground and he's not looking down the field to make a pass until he finally feels like he can stop and then look up. So,
you got to be willing to get crushed. Mm-hmm. Next up, we've got Mac Jones, minus 11.4, 17 of 26 for 152, and an interception, 5 rushes, 11 yards. It didn't need him.
No.
I mean, when you've got CMC, you don't even... I'm surprised they even run a quarterback out there. You might as well just use
Wildcat. With
Juszczyk next to him, and
I would just direct snap it to CMC.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Oh. He'll stand in the Wildcat, and he'll have Juszczyk back there, and then they'll pick a play and they'll go wherever they want. Maybe every once in a while he'll toss it up in the air and he'll catch it.
You could do a wishbone, with CMC, Juszczyk, and George Kittle. Yeah, and just run RPO, or basically just run, not pass, but run options with the three of them all game long.
A la Oklahoma from 45 years ago. It would be interesting.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Mike Evans, minus 10.62, 0 catches on 4 targets, broken collarbone, out for the season probably. So, I mean, it's, again, you put an injured player on here, it's hard to do anything. Yep. So. Moving on to our waiver wire, or on to Gadsden.
Yeah.
I think this is our second or third week with him up there. Mm-hmm. Xavier Legette.
Yeah, I mean, I've been out on Legette after 4 games into, was it last year was his rookie year or 2? Is it 3 years he's been in the league?
I don't recall.
I can't remember. But, I was out on him early.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I mean, he was involved early, and then when Dalton came in, continued.
Yeah.
I mean, he had, I can't remember how many targets he had. He had 9, 10 targets, something.
Yeah.
So it was up there in yardage and then the touchdown. So, I mean, maybe they're getting him involved. Obviously, Tet had it was an okay week. It wasn't great, but he didn't kill you if he was in your lineup.
Right.
So,
Next up, we've got Chardonnay.
If he's out there, I feel like he's probably pretty heavily rostered.
Yeah, in certain leagues, I don't think. I mean, I dropped him a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, in
that league, our 10-teamer.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably out there. I mean, this is It depends the format. So. But like you said, they don't like Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
So
I
Chardonnay had all the wine last night.
I mean, obviously, I think you take Kamara out of the off the trade block because you lose Kendry Miller, who you're trying to get involved.
Right.
But you get you got Breece Hall, and I think Kenneth Walker should get traded because.
Might as well.
I mean, as much as they use Charbonnet, as soon as they get to the goal line is all Charbonnet. It's just he's out there constantly. And Ken Walker, who I think is the better running back, it's just that he either breaks a long run or he's it's a 3-yard loss. That's kind of his style because he's looking to break those plays. Where Charbonnet is just I'll run through a guy for 3 positive yards and fall down, and then if I break something longer or just fall into the end zone, oh well. So
yeah. Next up, Daniel Bellinger.
Yeah, that one. I mean,
he was a big part of their offense this past week. I'm not saying I'm just saying keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I still like Theo Johnson better as the of the 2 tight ends for the Giants.
He had a good game too.
Yeah, I mean, he's young and seems like he's got a good rapport with Dart. But again, to Dart throw, Dart's, I didn't mean that.
I take one of Dart's throws.
Yeah, I did not. That one I did not intend. That one was a true whoopsie pun. But yes, a Dart throw because Dart has been playing really well.
Which is why I've got
guys and
Wan'Dale Robinson. I mean, he's probably still. I think he's available in our 16-teamer still.
Yeah, he's just been obviously with Malik out. Been so up and down, and he definitely because that was last year where Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale were 1 and 2 for targets through
Yeah.
like 4 weeks.
Yep.
And it was crazy, how many targets they had. So
Yep. Next up, is it Tony or is it Troy?
Troy.
Yeah, I don't know why I wrote down Tony. Troy Franklin seems to be getting. I think he had a touchdown. He
Yeah.
had quite a few targets.
it was 11 targets, but I think he only caught 3 of them.
Yeah, because I looked at one point. I think he was 0 for 5.
Yeah.
and I've got him in my lineup in our dynasty league.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I mean, him and Bo Nix they were at Oregon together.
yeah,
So they have that relationship pre-NFL. And, he's been like everybody else. This is why it's waiver wire, and he's, not heavily rostered, but he's been real up and down as well as the team goes.
right.
Depending on the game plan, because Franklin's has so far been a more down the field kind of guy because he's, he's tall, but he's super fast.
Yeah.
So, like I said, hopefully they flip the switch and let Bo, really try and stretch the field here in the next couple weeks. And yeah, I mean, they seemingly like they want to get Franklin going.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Next up, I've got Tez Johnson for a second week in a row. Tez caught another touchdown. Tez caught that touchdown last week, and they were yelling MVP, and he thought they were yelling it for him. So now, after another touchdown, he probably thinks he's going to be the MVP.
Yep. Chewing.
But now with Evans out,
Yep.
and I mean Igbuka came back, played,
Yeah.
and
Godwin
Tez
missed.
still had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not saying that this is going to go on for the entire year, because when Godwin comes back, he may take over
Yeah.
a lot of the looks. Here's an interesting name, Kamir DK.
Chimray.
Chimera,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
He had a big game.
Yeah.
And he had a good game a couple weeks ago, but I think he had a return that set up.
Yeah, he had
something in a game.
he had. It was like week 2 or 3. He had a game where they did like a jet sweep, and he was like inches short of a touchdown. Had a couple catches for. It was like almost 0 yardage because they were all close to the line of scrimmage. But Ridley was out. Io Manor then becomes the number 1 and gets all the attention. So, and DK's he's a good receiver. Like I said, watching him at Wisconsin, he's more of a possession, move the sticks kind of receiver. It almost reminds me a little bit of like a Jaden Reed, where he's kind of gadgety. They run the sweeps, the whatever screens and stuff like that. Like he to me, he's that kind of archetype of receiver. So, they got to figure out something there in Tennessee. Obviously, they got rid of the coach last week, so maybe whoever's in there now is, they got to get more people involved because Ridley's old for
He's been around a while.
So he's got to be 29 or 30.
Yeah.
Because he missed 2 seasons because he had the gambling stuff and then the mental health. He got suspended and then sat out a year or something like that. So weird career, for Ridley. So who knows I doubt he'll be there next year anyways. So
Right. Loser of the week?
that goes to Jesse. My main Yahoo league just didn't check his lineup and, had Puka still in his starting receiver spot. So got the
You got the win
there.
because of it.
I think with my lineup this week, I would have anyways, because he still had like Genty, who he only had like 4 fantasy points.
Genty was bad
The rest of his roster, aside from like Drake May, was bad. He still had Vegas in as his defense against Kansas City. I played KC against Vegas and had a really nice fantasy output from them. There's a lot of good fantasy team defenses this week. Like the Patriots were really good. Obviously the Browns.
Carolina.
Chiefs, Carolina. Yeah, Carolina.
Carolina played against a horrible Jets team.
Yeah. So
I
there were
I picked up
of really
Carolina
good,
and played them.
Yeah, there were a handful of really good team defense fantasy outputs this week. So
Well, that's all we've got for this week. Remember that there are 6 buys. We'll tell you about it more on Friday night. Actually, we're going to cast on Saturday. So until then, I'm Ozzy.
And I'm Austin.
Have a great week.
See you.